I believe that belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not as difficult as people think, to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there and created everything. But submission to Him is a harder concept.
Allah.
What I mean is submission to the role that Allah has perhaps assigned to you specifically. I always used to think, one day my father gave me an exercise. So I was praying tahajjud, in the nighttime I was a teenager, etc. and whatnot. But he thought I was praying it so people would say he's praying tahajjud. As opposed to sincerity. So he wanted to do like a test of sincerity.
Yeah.
So one day he brings the book of the seerah and he says to me, Waladi, I want you to read this seerah book again and tell me which of the Sahaba would you like to be like. And I said, okay, Baba, I'll take the book. And the look of disappointment was deep on his face the moment I said that. And I couldn't understand it. I was baffled. I thought, let me have a look. There's so many Sahaba to choose from, right? So I'm reading through. Then one day he said to me, where are you at? I said, I've just passed Sumayya radiallahu ta'ala anha, and stuff. And he said, okay, do you have an answer? And I said, Baba, wait, let me finish the book first and let me see what list of this. And he looked so disappointed and he walks off. Then, got to Mus'ab ibn Umair and then Hamza radiallahu anhu until I got to the end. Then I gave him a list. And then he said to me, why are all of these those who entered Mecca? I said, what do you mean? He said, what did you see in them that you don't see in those who were before? What is it that you value in these ones, that these ones are irrelevant? These ones you were sort of like, these are astaghfirullah, almost footnotes. These were, except, he said to me, are you subconsciously negotiating the terms of your struggle with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are you negotiating your role in this ecosystem with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And you think about it, you look at Mus'ab ibn Umair, lives his whole life, but what do you know about him? You know about him only that sort of hour, maybe 50 minutes that he spent with Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, where he convinces him to go from Yathrib to Medina. That's his lasting contribution that inshallah enters him into Firdaus. If that's what they said about you, that you didn't enter Mecca, everyone's talking about Abu Bakr and Umar and all these other Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim, they are great and the like, but you were spoken about as a footnote. But indallahi azim, Allah, for that entered you into Firdaus. Would you be satisfied as a Muslim if that was the role that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had assigned you in this grant? If your only role in this entire story was to build up until you had the idea of the trench like Salman al-Farisi, when the Prophet Muhammad has no strategy how to drive out the Ahzab who've come, and people remember you only as the guy in that 2 minutes when you said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, I have an idea, let's dig the trench, and everybody credits you with that idea, but nobody knows anything else about you. In the halaqat they will only mention the Khulafa al-Rashideen, because in their sense the izzah is that power, not the contribution for Allah. What Allah thinks is azim is not azim to you. What Allah thinks is grand is not grand to you. The thing with the yaqeen sometimes is, it's not just yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or even in terms of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed. Do you accept what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you in terms of your role, in terms of your contribution to this wider ecosystem? Are you content with what Allah gave you?